EnglishBook Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to EnglishBook.
Emma, can I ask you something?
Sure, what's up?
When you speak English, do you ever translate in your head first?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Of course, especially when I'm nervous.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Wait, you do it too?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Okay, a lot.
I knew it.
But here's the strange thing.
What's that?
The more I translate, the slower I speak.
Exactly.
I know the words.
Right.
I know the grammar.
Right.
I even know what I want to say.
But
Nothing comes out.
I know that feeling.
It's like my brain has too many jobs.
That's actually a good way to describe it.
First, I have an idea.
Okay?
Then I think about it in my language.
Right.
Then I translate it into English.
That's already a lot of work.
Oh, I'm not finished.
Oh, no.
Then I check the grammar.
Of course.
Then I change a word.
And check the grammar again.
Exactly.
And then?
Finally, I'm ready to speak.
Great!
Except,
Except what?
the conversation has already moved on.
Exactly.
It's terrible.
But very common.
So I'm not the only one?
Definitely not. A lot of English learners do this.
Why?
Because translating feels safe.
Safe?
Yes, you already understand your own language.
Of course.
So your brain uses it like a bridge.
I like that.
Imagine you're standing on one side of a river.
Okay.
Your idea is on this side.
And English is on the other side?
Exactly.
So translation is the bridge.
Right.
That doesn't sound bad.
It isn't bad.
Really?
No, translation can be very useful when you're learning.
Then why are we trying to stop?
Because you don't want to cross that bridge forever.
Ah,
Think about something very simple.
like what?
Someone says, "Thank you."
Okay.
Do you translate "thank you" every time you hear it?
No.
What about "good morning"?
No.
How are you?
No.
See you tomorrow.
Nope.
Why not?
Because I already know what they mean.
Exactly.
I don't need the bridge.
There you go.
So my brain already understands some English directly.
Yes,
That's encouraging.
it should be.
I thought thinking in English was some special skill.
A lot of people do.
Like one day you wake up.
And suddenly,
I think only in English.
unfortunately, no.
I was hoping for that.
Thinking in English grows slowly.
How slowly?
One word at a time.
One word?
Then one phrase.
Then one sentence?
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds possible.
It is possible.
So where do we start?
We start with something many learners make too difficult.
What's that?
The size of the thought.
The size of the thought?
Yes.
You're going to have to explain that.
Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do this weekend?"
Easy question.
It should be.
But I already feel nervous.
Exactly.
Because now I want to give a good answer.
And that's where the problem starts.
Let me try.
Go ahead.
Last weekend, I was very tired because I had a busy week at work, so I decided to stay home and spend some time relaxing.
Wow.
Pretty good, right?
Very good.
Thank you.
But did you need all of that?
You're
having a conversation,
Right.
not giving a speech.
Good point.
Make the thought smaller.
How?
I stayed home.
That's it?
Then add one more thought. I was tired.
Okay.
Then maybe, so I just relaxed.
Ah.
3 small thoughts.
Instead of one big sentence.
Exactly.
I stayed home.
Good.
I was tired.
Good.
So I just relaxed.
Perfect.
That is much easier.
And does it sound strange?
No.
Does it sound like bad English?
No.
Can I understand you?
Completely.
That's the point.
So maybe my English doesn't need to be complicated.
especially when you're learning to speak more naturally.
That's interesting.
We often think better English means longer English,
Bigger words.
longer sentences,
More grammar.
more everything.
But real conversations aren't always like that.
Not at all.
Give me an example.
Okay. Are you hungry?
A little.
Want to get something to eat?
Sure.
Pizza?
Sounds good.
Done.
That's the whole conversation?
Pretty much.
No advanced vocabulary?
Sorry.
No beautiful grammar?
Not today.
I'm disappointed.
But did we communicate?
Perfectly.
And quickly?
Very quickly.
That's what I want you to notice.
Simple doesn't mean bad.
Exactly.
Simple can actually sound natural.
Especially in conversation.
So if I'm translating too much,
Make the thought smaller.
if my sentence feels too difficult,
Make the thought smaller.
if I'm worried about perfect grammar,
Make the thought smaller.
you're really going to make me remember this, aren't you?
That's the plan.
Okay, let's practice.
Good idea.
Everyone listening, try this with us.
Here's the question. What do you usually do after work?
Don't prepare a perfect answer.
Don't translate a long sentence.
Just give us one small thought.
I'll go first. I usually go for a walk.
That's easy.
Exactly.
My turn. I usually go home and watch TV.
Very exciting.
I live a wild life.
Clearly.
Okay,
Now it's your turn.
say your answer out loud.
Maybe I go to the gym.
Or I make dinner.
I pick up my kids.
I go home and rest.
That's enough.
Really?
Yes, because right now we're training your brain to do something important.
What's that?
Connect the idea directly to English.
Without building a big sentence first.
Exactly.
Small thought,
Small English.
faster response.
Less translation.
I like this.
Good.
But I have another question.
I knew you would.
What if I don't know the English word?
Ah, that's a very important question.
Because that happens to me all the time.
Then our next step is going to help.
What are we doing?
We're going to learn how to think in English even when you don't know every word.
Now I'm interested.
Good, because that's where English starts becoming much more flexible.
Okay, show me how.
Let's start with a simple problem.
Okay,
Imagine you're speaking English.
so far so good.
You want to say something.
And then,
You don't know one word.
there it is.
What usually happens?
My brain stops.
Completely?
Completely.
Why?
Because I need that word.
Do you?
Well,
Do you?
okay, maybe not.
That's one of the habits we need to change.
What habit?
Thinking there is only one correct word. Let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Imagine you want to say umbrella,
Easy.
but suddenly you forget the word.
That happens.
What do?
I stand there and think, umbrella, umbrella, umbrella.
But you already forgot it.
I know.
So thinking harder doesn't always help.
Then what should I do?
Describe it.
Describe an umbrella?
Sure.
How?
You could say, the thing you use when it rains.
Oh,
Would I understand you?
probably.
Definitely.
Even without the word umbrella.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Communication didn't stop.
Because I found another road.
Yes.
We're back to roads again.
I like roads.
Apparently.
Let's try another one.
Okay.
You forget the word refrigerator.
That's a worse problem.
Why?
Because the cold food box sounds ridiculous.
Does it?
A little.
But would I understand you?
Actually, yes.
Exactly.
So I could really say, the cold thing in the kitchen.
Sure.
That's terrible English.
Is it?
Well,
Did you communicate?
yes.
Did the conversation continue?
Yes.
Then it did its job. This is important. Fluency is not knowing every word.
Say that again?
Fluency is not knowing every word.
Then what is it?
It's being able to keep going.
Even when something is missing?
Especially when something is missing.
I like that.
Think about your first language.
Okay.
Have you ever forgotten a word?
Of course.
Do you immediately stop the conversation?
No.
What do?
I say something like, you know that thing?
Exactly.
Everyone says that.
Or you describe it.
Or use a different word.
Right.
Or point at it.
Exactly.
So why don't we do that in English?
Because learners often think English is a test.
Ah,
Every sentence feels like a question on an exam.
correct or incorrect?
Right or wrong.
Pass or fail?
But conversation doesn't work like that.
Conversation is messier.
Much messier.
Even native speakers change sentences halfway through.
All the time.
They forget words.
Of course.
They say the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
That's comforting.
Good.
Very comforting.
Because your goal is not to speak like a dictionary.
That was my dream.
I'm sorry to ruin it.
I'll recover.
Let's practice this.
I'm ready.
I'll give you a word.
Okay?
Pretend you don't know that word in English.
Got it.
Describe it using easy English.
Let's try.
First word. Wallet. Don't translate.
Okay. It's a small thing.
Good.
You put money in it.
Great.
And cards.
Perfect.
That's enough?
More than enough.
That was easier than I expected.
Next one. Elevator.
Oh.
Remember, easy English.
It's a small room?
Sure.
It goes up and down?
Excellent.
Inside a building.
There you go.
I didn't need the word.
Exactly.
Give me a harder one.
Receipt.
Oh no.
You ask for harder.
Okay. It's a piece of paper.
Good.
You get it after you buy something.
Perfect.
That's actually pretty simple.
Most things become simpler when you stop looking for the perfect sentence.
There it is again.
What?
Simple English.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see a pattern.
Good.
But what about ideas?
What do you mean?
Objects are easy to describe.
Sometimes.
But what if I want to explain how I feel?
Good question.
And I don't know the exact word?
Same idea.
Really?
Let's say you don't know the word frustrated.
Okay.
What could you say?
Maybe I'm angry?
Maybe.
But that's not exactly the same.
It doesn't have to be exactly the same.
Right.
What else?
I tried many times, but it didn't work.
Excellent.
And now I feel bad.
Perfect.
That's longer than one word.
But I understand exactly how you feel.
True.
Sometimes easy words can explain a difficult idea.
That's a useful skill,
A very useful skill.
especially when traveling,
Absolutely.
or talking to someone at work,
Yes.
or when I forget a word in the middle of a conversation.
Which will happen.
Thank you for the confidence.
I'm being realistic.
Fair enough.
Here's another trick.
There's more?
Of course.
I'm listening.
Use words you already own.
Own?
Words that come to you quickly.
Ah,
Maybe you know a difficult word.
okay.
But if you have to search your memory for 5 seconds,
That's not very useful in conversation.
exactly.
So use the easy word that comes first.
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
Suppose you want to say, the movie was fascinating.
Nice word.
Very nice.
But maybe I can't remember fascinating.
Then say, the movie was really interesting
Easy.
and natural.
Another one.
Instead of, I was exhausted.
I was really tired.
Exactly.
Instead of, the restaurant was disappointing.
You could say, the restaurant wasn't very good.
Much easier.
The meaning may not be perfectly identical.
But the conversation keeps moving.
That's our goal.
I'm noticing something.
What?
We're not really learning more English right now.
Interesting.
We're learning to use the English we already know.
Exactly.
That's a big difference.
Many learners know much more English than they can use.
I definitely feel that.
They recognize thousands of words
But speaking feels difficult.
because recognition and use are different skills.
So we need to make my English more active.
Yes,
How?
by using familiar words again and again,
In real situations?
or imagine situations.
Like what?
Look around you right now.
Okay.
What can you see?
A desk,
Good.
a computer,
Good.
a cup of coffee.
Very important.
Extremely important.
Now, don't just name them.
What should I do?
Make one tiny English thought about each thing.
Okay.
The desk.
My desk is messy.
Nice.
Unfortunately true.
The computer.
My computer is old.
Good. The coffee.
My coffee is cold.
That's sad.
Very sad.
But look what you just did.
What?
You looked at something and made an English thought directly.
I didn't translate.
Exactly.
Because the sentences were so easy.
That's the secret.
Start below your maximum level.
Much below it.
That feels strange.
Why?
Because learners always want to practice difficult English.
That's useful sometimes.
But not for this?
Not when you're training automatic thinking.
Why not?
Because we want speed before complexity.
Speed before complexity.
Exactly.
So if I know B1 English,
You might practice thinking with A1 or A2 English.
really simple sentences.
Very simple.
The door is open.
Perfect.
It's raining.
Perfect.
I'm hungry.
Perfect.
I need coffee.
Especially perfect.
I knew you'd like that one.
These sentences may feel too easy,
They do.
but that's why they work.
Because I don't need to translate them.
Right.
The idea appears.
And the English appears with it.
Short road.
Exactly.
We're building the short road.
Little by little.
So I could do this during the day.
That's exactly what I want you to do.
At home?
Anywhere.
On the bus?
Sure.
At work?
Quietly.
Good advice.
In a cafe.
That man is reading.
Good.
The cafe is busy.
Good.
My coffee is expensive.
Very realistic.
I need more money.
Now we're getting personal.
Sorry.
But yes, that's exactly the exercise.
Observe.
Think
Use easy English.
and move on.
Don't stop to check every sentence.
No,
Don't open a dictionary.
not during the exercise.
What if I make a mistake?
Keep going.
Really?
Remember what we're training.
Direct thinking.
Exactly.
Not perfect grammar.
We can work on grammar separately.
That's actually a relief.
It should be.
Because when I try to practice everything at once,
Nothing becomes automatic.
vocabulary,
Grammar,
pronunciation,
translation,
sentence structure,
and confidence.
that's a busy brain.
Very busy.
So for this exercise,
One goal.
think a simple thought directly in English.
That's it.
I can do that,
Good.
but I think there's still one problem.
What's that?
I know individual words, but when I speak, I still build sentences one word at a time.
Ah,
Is that why I sound slow?
that's a big part of it.
So what's the next step?
Stop collecting only words.
What should I collect?
Phrases.
Phrases?
Small groups of words that naturally belong together.
Like what?
I don't know.
That's a phrase?
Yes.
It depends.
Great.
I'm not sure.
Exactly.
That sounds good.
Perfect.
I use those without thinking very much.
And that's why phrases are so powerful.
Okay, then let's talk about phrases.
Let's do it.
So what's wrong with learning words?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Words are important,
Good.
but words alone aren't enough.
Why not?
Because we don't usually speak one word at a time. Think about, I'm not sure.
Easy.
Do you think, I am not sure?
No.
You know the whole thing.
It feels like one piece.
Exactly.
So that's a chunk?
Yes,
A group of words I can remember and use together,
exactly.
without building it every time.
That's the point.
Give me another.
I don't know.
Very useful.
Extremely useful.
Maybe too useful.
Don't use it for every question.
No promises.
But did you build the grammar before saying it?
No.
Did you translate it?
Not really.
It just came out.
Right.
That's automatic English.
Interesting.
Let's test a few.
Okay.
Someone asks a question. You don't know the answer.
I don't know.
Someone gives you an idea. You think it's good.
Sounds good.
Someone explains something and you understand.
That makes sense.
Perfect.
I can see how this makes speaking faster.
Because you're not creating everything from zero.
Like ready-made blocks.
Exactly.
Let's learn 5 useful ones.
I'm not sure.
1,
Let me think.
2,
That makes sense.
3,
The thing is,
4,
I mean,
5.
that's enough.
Only 5?
5 useful phrases used many times.
Better than 50 phrases I only read once.
Exactly.
So we should practice them in situations.
Yes.
Is the store open today?
I'm not sure.
What do you want for dinner?
Let me think.
You need to practice every day.
That makes sense.
Why didn't you answer my message?
The thing is, I was really busy.
And I mean?
The movie was bad. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just too long.
Nice.
These phrases help you react, buy time, explain, and correct yourself.
So conversation isn't only information.
Exactly.
It's also reactions.
Very important.
Let's practice reactions.
I started a new job last week.
Really? That's great. How is it going?
Perfect.
Easy English.
But real conversation.
I bought a new car yesterday.
Really? What kind of car?
I'm moving to a new apartment.
That's great. Where is it?
I have an important interview tomorrow.
Oh, really? Are you nervous?
Reaction first.
Then, a simple question.
That pattern feels useful.
Very useful.
What if I need time?
Let me think.
What if I don't know?
I'm not sure.
What if I need to explain?
The thing is,
What if I need to correct myself?
I mean,
Conversation tools.
exactly.
The more I use them,
The less you need to translate.
because they come out automatically.
Right.
Can phrases help listening too?
Definitely.
How?
If you know a phrase as one unit, you hear it as one unit.
Instead of catching every word.
Exactly.
Let me think.
Or simply, let me think.
One familiar sound pattern.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Nice.
What?
You used one of our phrases.
I didn't even notice.
That's what we want.
Use it so often that I stop noticing.
Exactly.
Then it becomes part of my English.
Not something you know.
Something I use.
Exactly.
So what's next?
Real life.
Real life?
We need to use all of this during the day.
How?
With a simple 10-minute routine.
Only 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
No 2-hour study session?
Nope.
I'm starting to like this.
Good.
Show me the routine.
First 2 minutes, look around.
And make simple English thoughts.
Exactly.
The window is open.
Good.
The table is small.
Good.
My coffee is cold.
That's sad.
Very sad.
2 minutes. Look, notice, think.
In easy English.
Minutes 3 and 4, ask yourself questions.
Like, how do I feel?
Exactly.
I'm a little tired.
What do I need to do today?
Let me think. I need to finish some work.
Good.
I need to buy food.
Good.
And call my friend.
Excellent.
Minutes 5 and 6?
Practice your 5 useful phrases inside tiny situations.
I'm not sure. Let me think. That makes sense. The thing is,
Exactly.
minutes 7 and 8?
Describe a place or situation.
Like a cafe?
Yes.
There are many people. A woman is talking on the phone. The waiter looks busy.
Perfect.
One small thought after another.
Exactly.
And the last 2 minutes?
Free talk about one easy topic.
Like somewhere I want to visit.
Good.
I want to visit Italy.
Why?
Because I love Italian food.
What else?
I want to see Rome and visit small towns.
Good.
If I get stuck, I ask myself another question.
Exactly.
Why? When? Where? Who? How?
Those questions create the next thought.
So that's the full 10 minutes.
That's it.
Every day?
Ideally,
What if I only have 5 minutes?
do 5.
3?
Do 3.
1?
Do 1.
Really?
A small habit you actually do is better than a perfect routine you never start.
That's true.
And don't stop every 5 seconds to correct yourself.
Because that breaks the flow.
Exactly.
I can study repeated mistakes later.
Yes.
Separate fluency practice from correction.
Very useful.
10 minutes for flow.
Another time for grammar.
That makes sense.
Nice.
I did it again.
Exactly.
I think I understand the big idea now.
Tell me.
Thinking in English isn't forcing my brain to stop using my first language.
Good.
It's building more direct English connections.
Exactly.
Idea to English.
Yes.
Situation to English.
Yes.
Feeling to English.
Exactly.
So translation becomes less necessary over time.
That's the goal.
Not zero translation tomorrow.
Definitely not.
Translate a little less.
Much more realistic.
But what happens in a real conversation?
Ah.
Someone waits for my answer, I get nervous, and my English disappears.
The famous disappearing English.
Exactly.
Then let's do our final challenge.
Real-life situations?
Exactly.
Let's do it.
First, you're in a cafe.
Easy.
You want coffee, but you forget the word decaf.
Oh no.
What do?
Keep moving.
Good.
Can I have coffee without caffeine?
Perfect.
Even if it's not perfect English?
The person understands you.
That's communication.
Exactly. Hi, what can I get for you?
Hi, can I have a coffee, please?
Regular or decaf?
Can I have the coffee without caffeine?
Of course. Small or large?
Small, please.
Anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Perfect.
I didn't stop.
That's fluency.
Next situation.
You're at work. Your coworker asks, "Can you finish this today?"
I'm not sure. Let me think.
Good.
I think I can finish most of it today, but I may need more time tomorrow.
Excellent.
Ready-made English helped.
Exactly.
Next.
A hotel.
Okay.
Ask for a later checkout.
Excuse me, is it possible to check out a little later?
How late?
Maybe 1 o'clock?
Sorry, 1 o'clock isn't possible.
What time is possible?
Perfect.
Very simple.
Real conversations often are.
What if I don't understand the hotel worker?
Use a phrase.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Good.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Good.
Could you speak a little more slowly?
Perfect.
I need ready-made phrases for listening too.
Exactly.
Next situation.
Small talk with someone you don't know.
The scary one.
Imagine you're waiting for a train.
Okay.
Someone says, "It's really busy today."
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's because it's Friday.
Nice.
Are you going far?
Excellent.
That's enough to start?
Absolutely.
I don't need a clever opening.
Just natural.
If they say, I'm going to visit my sister?
React.
Oh, nice. Does she live far away?
Perfect.
Reaction first.
Then a simple question.
I can see how everything connects now.
Small thoughts.
Easy words.
Useful phrases.
Simple reactions.
Follow-up questions.
And keep moving.
Exactly.
Let's try one more. No help.
You meet someone at a small party.
Okay.
Hi, I don't think we've met.
Hi, I don't think so. I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you. I'm Emma.
Nice to meet you too.
How do you know Sarah?
We used to work together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we worked together for about 3 years.
Did you enjoy working together?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, she talks a lot.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Good save.
See, I didn't plan that.
You just reacted.
That's conversation.
Exactly.
I think I finally understand.
Tell me.
I don't need to stop translation by force.
Good.
I need to build more English that comes directly.
Exactly.
Short thoughts.
Yes.
Familiar words.
Yes.
Ready-made phrases.
Yes.
Real practice.
Yes.
And repetition.
Absolutely.
So translation becomes less necessary over time.
That's the goal.
How will I know I'm improving?
Notice small moments.
Like answering before translating?
Exactly.
Hearing that makes sense and understanding it immediately?
Yes.
Forgetting a word but describing it and continuing?
Big win.
Making a mistake and continuing instead of stopping?
Very big win.
Those moments show the short road is getting stronger.
Exactly.
Some days my English will still disappear.
Of course.
Great.
That's normal.
One bad conversation doesn't mean I'm getting worse.
Not at all.
That's important.
Very.
We remember bad conversations more than good ones.
Unfortunately.
One mistake and I think about it all night.
Exactly.
But a good conversation, I forget it 5 minutes later.
Why are we like this?
I don't know.
Nice.
What?
You used a chunk.
It works.
It does.
Let's end with one simple challenge.
I like that.
Something people can do today.
For the next 5 minutes, notice your life in English.
What I see,
What you hear,
what I'm doing,
how you feel,
what I need,
What you want.
Keep the English simple.
Don't search for impressive words.
Don't correct every sentence.
Don't translate every thought.
And if I get stuck,
Use the English you have.
describe it.
Use an easier word.
Use a phrase
Ask yourself a question.
and keep moving.
Perfect.
English doesn't have to appear perfectly.
It just needs a chance to appear.
Nice.
Thank you.
Did you practice that for 6 hours?
Maybe.
I knew it. Before we finish, I think we promised everyone a proper word tour.
We did.
Vocabulary moment!
No.
I had to try.
Welcome to our word tour.
Much better.
Let's revisit the most useful words from today's conversation.
Revisit?
Nice catch.
Are we adding another word already?
Not today.
Good, my brain thanks you.
Our first word is directly.
Directly,
It means going straight from one thing to another.
without another step in the middle.
Exactly.
Like idea to English.
Directly.
Instead of idea, my language, translation, grammar panic, English.
That's the long road.
Very long.
Example. Try to connect the idea directly to English.
Directly.
Good.
What's next?
Automatic.
Automatic.
Something automatic happens without much thinking or effort.
Like saying thank you.
Exactly.
I don't build it word by word.
It just comes out.
Automatic.
And English phrases can become automatic after you use them many times.
That's the goal.
Exactly.
Next,
Describe.
describe.
To describe something means to explain what it is like.
What it looks like.
Yes.
What it does.
Yes.
How it feels.
Exactly.
So when I forget a word, I can describe it.
Right.
Give me something.
Scissors.
But I know scissors.
Pretend you don't.
I'm forgetting everything again.
Go.
It's a thing you use to cut paper.
Perfect.
Describe.
Describe.
Next word.
Fluency.
The big one.
What does it mean?
Speaking smoothly and being able to keep communicating.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean perfect English.
No.
I can make a mistake and still be fluent.
Absolutely.
I can forget a word and keep going.
Yes.
I like this definition much more.
Good.
Fluency.
Fluency.
Next,
Frustrated.
I remember this one.
Tell me.
Feeling upset because something is difficult or isn't working.
Perfect.
Like when I know an English word but I can't remember it.
Very good.
Or when someone eats my cake.
We're still talking about the cake?
Healing takes time.
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Next is familiar.
Familiar.
Something familiar is something you know or recognize well.
A familiar face.
Good.
A familiar place.
Good.
A familiar phrase.
Perfect.
Familiar English comes to me faster.
Exactly.
So easy. Familiar English can be more useful than a difficult word I can't reach.
That's it.
Familiar.
Familiar.
Next,
Overwhelming.
overwhelming.
Something feels overwhelming when it feels like too much to handle.
Like trying to think in English for 12 hours.
Definitely overwhelming.
Or learning 50 new words before breakfast.
Please don't do that.
I wasn't planning to.
Good.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
And we add a word that goes nicely with it.
Manageable.
Manageable.
Something manageable feels possible to handle or do.
5 minutes of English practice.
Manageable.
500 new words today.
Not very manageable.
So make the practice small enough to continue.
Exactly.
Manageable.
Manageable.
Next,
Confidence.
confidence.
Confidence means believing you can do something.
But it doesn't mean I never make mistakes.
Right.
It can mean I can handle mistakes.
Exactly.
I like that.
Me too.
Confidence can grow while I'm still learning.
Absolutely.
Confidence.
Confidence.
Last word?
Recover.
Recover.
To recover means to return to a normal state after a problem.
Like recovering after being sick.
Yes.
And in speaking,
You forget a word, describe it, and recover.
I make a mistake, correct it, and recover.
You don't understand, ask again, and recover.
So fluency is not only about avoiding problems.
Exactly.
It's also about knowing how to continue after a problem.
That's a very important idea.
Recover.
Recover.
How many words was that?
10.
10.
Directly.
Automatic.
Describe.
Fluency.
Frustrated.
Familiar.
Overwhelming.
Manageable.
Confidence.
Recover.
10 useful words.
That didn't feel like homework.
Good.
It felt like part of the conversation.
That's exactly what we want.
So, are we done now?
Almost.
There's always an almost.
One last thought.
Okay.
At the beginning, we asked if you should stop translating in your head.
And now I think the answer is a little different.
How?
Don't fight translation.
Good.
Translation can help you learn,
Yes.
but don't depend on it for every sentence.
Exactly.
Build more English that comes directly.
With small thoughts.
Familiar words,
Useful phrases.
natural reactions,
Simple questions.
and practice recovering when something goes wrong.
Then, little by little, more English becomes automatic.
In translation becomes less necessary.
Exactly.
That feels much more realistic than saying, never translate again.
Much more realistic.
So here's our final challenge.
Keep it simple.
After this episode ends, stay with English for just 1 minute.
Look around you.
Notice 3 things.
Make 3 small English thoughts.
The room is quiet.
I'm a little tired.
I need some water.
Nothing difficult.
Nothing perfect.
Just English.
Directly.
Nice.
Vocabulary callback.
Exactly.
And if 1 minute feels easy tomorrow, try 2.
Then maybe 3.
Slowly.
No pressure.
No perfection.
Just practice.
I like that.
Me too.
And now?
Now we're really done.
No surprise grammar test?
No,
No homework?
you just gave everyone homework.
That was a challenge.
That's homework with better marketing.
Okay, that's fair.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
And remember, you don't need to remember everything from today.
Choose one idea
Or one phrase.
and use it.
The more you use English,
The more familiar it becomes,
and the more familiar it becomes,
the less you need to translate.
little by little.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!